Testing audio. Testing movement. Testing audio. Okay, good. Hello. Okay, looks like we're all good. Hello, everyone. This is Gun the Mace, aka John Hooper, and I'm here with my streaming of Chizome no Hana, aka Bloodstained Flowers. Last time, well, as usual, a lot of stuff happened. Anzu got infected with the poison, and then, after being unable to find an antidote for her, Sakura came across Tsubaki, who, as it turned out, had killed her younger sister and was trying to hide the body, and nearly killed Tsubaki herself after Tsubaki explained the circumstances leading up to it, but ultimately let her go. But then just Tsubaki tried to escape. A mysterious assailant attacked her, and when Sakura next woke up, only Kaede was there. He heard that Anzu was dead and that Hiiragi had vanished, as well as Tsubaki, although they don't know that she's been killed, it seems. So, we last left off then, Kaede left the room to go to the bathroom, leaving Sakura by herself, so we're going to pick up from there. Before I know it, the sun sets, and the outside is wrapped in darkness. I look up at this. I look out from the window of the sky to see a beautiful full moon. It's so beautiful. Come to think of it, Masaki Utsugi's journal mentioned that the flower of the poison that shone beautifully in the full moonlight. I take a look at the forest from the window, but all I see is darkness. No sign of sign of anything shining to be found anywhere. Just how was it that Mr. Takanuki got infected with the poison to begin with? Do those flowers still live somewhere in that forest after all? Thinking about it won't get me any answers. I move away from the window and take another look around the room. Kaede and Hiiragi's things are next to the bed. I didn't notice it because the bedrooms have the same design, but it seems this is Kaede and Hiiragi's bed, the room that Hiiragi and Kaede are using. On top of their luggage is a plain photo album. On top of their luggage lies a photo album casually lying there. It's the one they were looking at yesterday morning. I decided to take a little look in it. I flip in the album and then I see pictures of young Kaede and Hiiragi. Probably in grade school around here. Hiiragi has a lot of injuries on his face. Unlike his current expression, the Kaede in these seems a bit timid. The Hiiragi in those seems a bit timid. Sorry, Hiiragi is on here. Even so, Kaede is holding his hand. And they appear to be brothers who get along well. When I turn to the 5th page, I doubt my eyes. It's clearly different from all the other pages up till now. The page is all pictures of Hiiragi. If they were just photos of him, it'd be alright. But Hiiragi's not facing the camera in any of those pictures. No. No, that's not even the problem. It looks like he doesn't even notice the cameras to begin with. They're clearly different from commemorative photos. There's photos of him from, sleeping, reading a magazine in his room, and even him changing. Could this be? Sorry, 1 second. Alright, back. Photos taken in secret? A chill runs down my spine. Who took these photos? No, I don't even have to think about it, do I? This album belongs to Kaede and Hiiragi. Which inevitably means that, means the photo must be one of theirs. When I went to the room yesterday morning, they hastily hid this from me. When we were looking at the album, Kaede said very happily that Hiiragi was so cute in the past. Was cute as well in the past. Was he looking at this album full of secret photos? Is Kaede the one who took these photos? Kaede and Hiiragi... Are Kaede and Hiiragi not the normal brothers I took them for? I keep flipping through the pages, but all of them are contain nothing but secret photos taken of Hiiragi. Confusion runs rampant in my mind. Why is Kaede taking secret photos of Hiiragi? I mean, they're always together, aren't they? So why? Just a few minutes earlier, Kaede was tending to me and looking at me with concern. Kaede's always kind to anyone. Is there another side of Kaede I don't know about? I tried to close the album, keeping myself from looking at it any further. Just then, a photo falls out of the album. I'm taken aback when I see that photo. The photos of a young Kaede smiling, surrounded by his family. But Hiiragi's not there. In the photo is Azusa Utsugi. A man whose face looks just like Kaede's, and then a young boy, the spitting image of Kaede. And this photo was sorry. And this photo, appears to have been taken in the reception room of the Utsugi Manor. What's going on here? Why is Kaede in a photo with Azusa Utsugi, the culprit behind the forced family suicide? I thought they said the Utsugis and the Kokubunjis weren't very close. And next to Kaede in this photo is a boy who can hardly tell apart from Kaede. That's right. like they're twins. And this man who looks like Kaede, he's probably his father. But it's strange. Because Kaede said that, his mother abused Hiiragi because he resembled their father. This man doesn't look like, Hiiragi at all, no matter how I look at him. There's a big contradiction between what Kaede said in this photo. Thoughts swirl and vanish in my mind over and over. If I remember right, the Utsugi family was comprised of Utsugi Masaki, his wife Azusa, and their 2 children. If I remember right, Kaede said those children were twins. Maybe this man smiling next to Azusa in the photo is Masaki Utsugi. In that case... No way. I hastily put the photo back in the album. Wait, sorry. I think I misread that. Sorry, I hastily turned back the page of the album. Hold on a second. I realized that even though the photos Kaede and Hiiragi showed me yesterday had the 2 of them in it, there aren't photos of them even any younger than that in there. And come to think of it, Kaede referred to the mother who gave him his name as Mom, but he referred to the mother who abused Hiiragi as Mother. The mother who named Kaede and the mother who abused Hiiragi. Could they be different people? This term is true. Sorry, the last line was, and that means Kaede was the sole survivor of the Utsugi family forced suicide? No way. That can't be. But if that's true, then it all makes sense and it all adds up. I thought the reason Hiiragi and Kaede didn't look alike was because they were fraternal twins. That's wrong. It's no wonder they didn't look alike. Because Kaede and Hiiragi aren't twin brothers, they're cousins. It's likely that after the forced family suicide, Kaede was taken in by Hiiragi's family. Why did Kaede and Hiiragi hide this fact? Why did they lie to everyone? Did they know that what would happen during this field trip? No. Were the 2 of them working together? That's right. When we got here and everyone split up and went off to do things on their own, what were Kaede and Hiiragi at the time? What were they doing? Either Kaede or Hiiragi, no. Maybe both of them burned the bridge? And what's more, there's the fact considering how Mr. Takenuki got infected. I thought Mr. Takenuki got infected by the poison in the woods. What if he was infected earlier than that? When could that have been, though? Hey Ren, are you alright? Jeez, no need to get embarrassed. It's your fault for saying all that weird stuff.
高貫先生大丈夫ですか？僕のお茶でよければどうぞ。
Are you alright, Mr. Takanuki? Here, have my tea.
悪いな、楓。
Thanks, Kaede. It's possible that Kaede could have made Mr. Takanuki drink the poison. The two of them burn the bridge, trap us here, and then poison Mr. Takanuki in order to kill us? No, maybe I'm just looking into this too deeply. But now that things have come to this, can I really trust the two of them considering they're hiding these facts from us? I remember Kaede's smile before he left the room. A kind Kaede. Person I love. I don't want to doubt him, but... I stand up and leave the room. I took a look around the hall, and quietly walk down the stairs so I don't make a sound. Now that I can't trust, Kaede, and I'm anxious, I want to see Anzu as soon as possible. If Kaede has nothing to do with these series of events, then he'll probably be angry and worried about me going off my own. But if that's not the case, then... I abandon all other thoughts and open the door to the living room. I do it slowly so as not to make any noise. I take a step into the living room. The stench of blood fills the room. Guided by the faint moonlight, I take a few more steps into the room. My eyes turn to a place hidden by this table's shadow. Sorry, it appears that my voice wasn't working for a little bit. I'm going to have to just go back to where it was and redo. Is this the right point? Can you hear my voice now? Okay, good. I'll try again. Alright, I'll try again. Anzu's gone. I knew about it because I heard from Kaede. I was ready for this. This is just... Anzu's dead, covered in blood. Her body's littered with stab wounds. A bloodstained knife is lying next to Anzu. Why? Who could have done this? I touch Anzu's cheek. It's cold. So many painful-looking wounds. She's shedding a lot of blood. It must have hurt. Must have been so agonizing. She must have been scared. I embrace Anzu's motionless body. Just what was she... I wonder what she was thinking and feeling in her last moments. Why wasn't I with her when it happened? Bitter and sorrowful tears and ceaselessly pour out of me. Why did this happen to Anzu? Who could have done this? An emotion sprouts in my heart again. Bloodlust. Unless I find the one who did this to Anzu. I'll find them, make them, and give them a taste of their own medicine. Just the moment I think that. I hear a sound from the room next door. Someone's there. Is it the one who killed Anzu? President Tsubaki? Hiragi? Or Kaede? I move away from Anzu's body and stand up. I leave the living room and open the room next door. If I remember right, this room connects to the main hall. This door connects to the main hall. I resolve myself and open the door. In there is Hiragi. But nowhere near in the way I expected to see him. Hiragi has both his hands bound behind his back, his mouth gagged. I remove the gag from Hiragi's mouth. Hiragi writhes in pain. Did he get hurt somewhere? Why? Why did this happen? I reach out to remove Hiragi's bounds. I'm sorry, Sakura. Sorry? Sorry for what? Anzu... My hands stop. Does he know something about Anzu? No. Was he the one who killed her? Our choices are untie his bonds or don't untie them. We are going to untie them. I untie Hiragi's bounds. Even if I hear the facts from Hiragi, I can't leave him like this. With his hands now free, Hiragi sits up. Did you see Anzu's body?
今さっき柊は何か知ってるの？どうしてアンズがあんな目にあったのか。
Yeah, just now. Hiragi, do you know something? Why did that happen to Anzu? Depending on how he answers, I may not get him off easy.
すまない守ってやれなかった
I'm sorry. I failed to protect Anzu. Failed to protect her? With a tear-choked voice, Yagi bows his head to me. What do you mean?
あいつは俺のせいで殺されたんだ俺がアンズのこと好きになったからだから
Anzu was killed because of me. Because I fell in love with Anzu. So... I can't understand what Hiragi's saying. Anzu was killed because Hiragi was in love with her? I don't understand what he means.
誰がアンズを殺したの？
Who? Who killed Anzu? Hiragi lowers his head and keeps his mouth shut. He opens his mouth, but hesitates to say the name. Then Hiragi finally resolved himself, opens his mouth slowly, and says the name.
アンズを殺したのは楓だ
The one who killed Anzu was Kaede. I gasped. In my mind, I already suspected that possibility. But I didn't want to believe it. Just then, Hyagi puts a hand on my shoulder.
逃げるんだ早くここからあいつが楓が来る前に
We have to get out of here now, before Kaede comes back. Hyagi says that and tries to stand up. But pain seems to run through his leg, causing him to stumble.
どうしたの？怪我してるの？
What's wrong? Are you hurt?
足を刺された
My leg was stabbed. Who could have... No, that's a stupid question. It was obviously the same culprit that killed Anzu. But I still can't bring myself to believe it. Kind and gentle Kaede did that? He killed Anzu and stabbed Hiragi's leg? I can't believe it. But the fact remains that Hiragi's leg is injured. Hiragi doesn't look like he's lying. I lend Hiragi my shoulder and help him to his feet.
すまない
Sorry.
うん。それよりどこに逃げるの？さすがに柊抱えて森は抜けられないよ。
It's okay. Anyway, where do we run? We can't. I can't get out of the forest helping you walk.
外の温室あそこなら草木が生い茂っていて身を隠しやすい
The greenhouse outside. It's overgrown with vegetation, so it's easy to hide.
わかった。
Got it. We head for the greenhouse outside the mansion. We open the door of the living room and carefully head towards the entrance while doing our best not to make any sounds. When Hiragi and I make it to the entrance hall, we gasp. President Tsubaki's body is lying there. There's blood pouring from her chest. It seems she was probably stabbed in the heart.
まさかこれも楓が？
Was this also Kaede's
多
doing?
分 いつは俺以外の人間を殺すつもりでここに来たんだろうから。
Probably. That's the only possibility I can consider. Probably came here planning to kill everyone except for me. Kill everyone except for Hiragi? I want to ask why, but I resist the urge. I hope Hiragi walk as we leave through the front door. I can ask him all I want once we get into the greenhouse. I quietly close the front door and hurry to the greenhouse. We arrive at the greenhouse. We hide behind some vegetation a little distance away from the entrance. Hiragi's leg is still injured, and beads of sweat are rising to his forehead.
柊、私、柊たちの持ってきたアルバムを見たの。その中の一枚の写真に、宇津木あずさと幼い楓が一緒に写ってた。
Hiragi, I saw you in Kaede's photo album. In there was a photo of a young Kaede with Azusa Utsugi.
ねえ、楓はこの宇津木家の生き残った子供なんでしょ？
Kaede's the survivor of the Utsugi family, isn't he? I asked Hiragi the question most of my mind, wanting to get confirmation. After a short pause, Hiragi nods.
ああ、そうだ。あいつの昔の名前は宇津木楓。俺とはいとこになる。
Yeah, that's right. His old name used to be Kaede Utsugi. He's my cousin.
あの心中事件で家族を失った楓は俺のうちの養子になったんだ。
My family adopted Kaede after he lost his family in the forced family suicide. I knew it.
さっき楓は柊以外の人間を殺すつもりだって言ってたよね。
Just said that Kaede plans to kill everyone except for you, right?
じゃあ橋を落としたのも屋敷から出られないように野犬を感染させたのも高貫先生に毒を感染させたのも楓だったの。
And the one who burned the bridge infected those dogs so we couldn't escape the mansion and poisoned Mr. Takanuki was Kaede?
あ
Yeah.
どうして？
Why?
あいつは合宿でここに来ると決まった時からある人物を殺そうとしてた。まさか全員殺すつもりだったなんて知らなかったんだ。
He's been planning to kill someone from the moment we decided we'd be going here for the field trip. I never could have imagined he was planning on killing everyone.
ある人物ってハンズのこと？
Someone? Do you mean Anzu? Yagi weakly shakes his
違
head.
う。きっと楓は初めはアンズまで殺すつもりなんかなかった。アンズは俺のせいで。
No. I'm sure Kaede didn't plan on killing Anzu too at first. Anzu was my fault.
さっきも言ってたけど柊のせいでアンズが殺されたってどういうことなの？
You said the same thing earlier, but just what does that mean?
アルバム見たんだろ？
You saw the album, right?
柊の写真がたくさんあった。
There were a lot of photos of you in it.
異常だろ。楓は俺が楓のいないところで何をしてるのか知っていないと気が収まらねえらしい。
It's crazy, isn't it? It seems Kaede can't stay calm Unless he knows what I'm doing when I'm not around him.
俺の行動を常に監視していたいんだと。俺が他の誰かと親しくしていないかずっと見張ってるんだ。
He wants to always keep an eye on my actions. He's been keeping an eye out to see if I get close to anyone else.
どうして？
Why?
楓はすげえ嫉妬深いから。
Kaede is extremely jealous. What Hiragi tells me, it seems that, from what Hiragi tells me, it seems, the love Kaede has for Hiragi is by no means normal. Yesterday, one second. Was the reason Hiragi got scared yesterday when Kaede asked him if he liked Anzu? Because he was terrified of, Kaede's warped love?
楓はどうしてそこまで柊に執着してるの？
Why is he so attached to you? Hiragi lowers his head and keeps quiet. He tries to open his mouth several times, but always falls silent again. It looks like he's hesitating over where he should start talking. I decide to wait until he does. I look up at the sky. The moon is beautiful. Put my hands on the sink and look up. Pain has gone a little bit, has settled down a little bit. I don't have much time left. I have to get to Sakura quick. Oh, but first I need to check up on Hiragi. Though we can't fight back. Sorry. Hold on a second. Alright, back. Though I had no choice, I feel bad for hurting my beloved Hiragi's leg. But it was all his fault. No. It was the fault of that bitch who brainwashed Hiragi. That dirty bitch who brainwashed Hiragi. I had to teach him a lesson because that girl tried to take away my beloved Hiragi. But Hiragi got in the way. So I had no choice but to stab his leg. I'm sure it still hurts a lot. I opened the door of the hall. Hiragi's not there. Only the bonds that were tying his arms are still there. Hiragi got away. Where could he have gone? Where could he have run to on that injured leg? Even though Hiragi's never turned against me any time up till now. Is he still not free of that girl's brainwashing? Was stabbing in the leg not enough to release him from the brainwashing? Hold on a second. Hiragi's my brother. He's mine. He's mine. It's that girl's fault that he turned into a bad boy who went against me. He's mine. He's mine. He's mine. Hiragi. 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 I have to find Hiragi soon. Once I find him, I'll have to punish him a little more harsher this time. Otherwise, he won't get the idea. He won't understand.
ヒイラギ、今度こそ君の体に教え込んであげるよ。
Wait for me, Hiragi. I'll drill into your body for sure this time. I'll drill into you. There's no one but me. There's no one but me who there's no one aside from me who loves you more in this world. Who could love you more than me in this world?
どこへ逃げようと無駄だよ、ヒイラギ。君は僕だけのものなんだから。
It's useless to try to run, Hiragi, because you're mine and mine alone. Probably couldn't have gone far on that leg. It's been a long time since you played hide and go seek with me, hasn't it, Hiragi? I'll find you soon enough, so just be patient and wait for me. When Sakura asks me why Kaede is so attached to me, I shut my mouth. Why? Seriously, how did things ever come to this? Kaede used to be a kind boy who doted on me like I was his own brother. Just when was it that our relationship grew so twisted?
全部話す。俺と楓が出会った時のことから全部。
I'll tell you everything. From the moment Kaede and I met. Sakura silently nods. I close my eyes and talk about my memories of Kaede. For as long as I can remember, my mother abused me every day. Cause was my father. It seems my father married my mother for the money. He spent every day fooling around, frivoling away my mom's family's money. It seemed he was cheating on her with another woman. My mother, who loved my father, could not forgive that. But she always dealt with my father with a smile. Even though he cheated on her and frittered away her family's money, my mother loved him. But her stress kept piling up. In times like those, I was the outlet for her stress. Because I looked like my father, she hit me and said all she hit me and said all the things she couldn't do to my father. Every day my mother abused me, I would apologize to her over and over again. 12 years ago. Days of daily violence and days without meals kept going on. Days where my parents didn't come home. I was so weak that I couldn't remember how many days it had been since I last ate. My consciousness was faint. I didn't even have the willpower to get up. Am I going to die like this? The moment I thought that, I heard the sound of the front door opening. Is it Mom? Or is it Father? It doesn't matter. Someone save me. As I wished that, the door of the room opened. The one there was neither Mom nor my father. It was an unknown woman. When she saw me, the woman looked at me with surprise and frantically ran over to me. She picked me up and, concerned, asked me if I was all right. She took out her cell phone and said she needed to call an ambulance and tried to dial the number. With what little strength I had, I desperately pushed away the phone. No, I can't go to the hospital. I somehow managed to get that across to her. Because my mom and father told me that the police and hospital were places that I definitely couldn't go. Because if I went there, I would never be able to go home ever again, they said. That's why I desperately pleaded to the woman. The woman gave a concerned look, and after thinking for a while, carried me and took her into her car. She then drove the car off. I then passed out, wondering if she was going to take me to the hospital. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in an unfamiliar room. I was lying on a bed. Was this the hospital? With that thought, I looked to my side, and I saw two boys standing there, looking back at me. I wonder if my eyes were playing tricks on me. Because apart from their eyes, the two boys were exact duplicates of each other. Once he saw I was awake, one of the boys ran out of the room, calling for his mother that I'd woken up. The other boys stayed still, just watching me. When I tried to say something, he took my hand. Are you alright? He said that and looked at me with concern. I was bewildered, not knowing how to respond. That was how Kaede and I first met. After a little while, the boy who looked just like Kaede came back and brought the woman with him. She was the one who took me in her car. It seemed her name was Azusa Utsugi. It seems she was my father's twin sister. Now I thought about it, she did look kind of like my father. The boy who looked just like Kaede was Momiji Utsugi, Kaede's younger twin brother. Compared to... Hold on, 1 second. He was more lively compared to Kaede. The man was Masaki Utsugi. He was Azusa's husband and Kaede and Momiji's father. When Kaede and Momiji grew up, I figured they probably looked like him. After she checked over my body again, my mother tended to my wounds. The woman tended to the wounds after checking my body over again, they tended to the wounds my mother had given me and gave me new clothes. Though my father and Azusa were twins, they didn't get along, and after they grew up, had barely spoken to each other, it seemed. This was the first time I knew my brother had a younger twin sister. On that day, I also had just been passing by my father's house by chance, and decided to check in for first time in a while. There she found me collapsed, and hastily took me to the Utsugi Manor. In reality, she wanted to take me to the hospital. Because I was so against it, she brought me here. Azusa was troubled when she tried to call my father but got no answer. Even if she did manage to get through to him, I didn't think it would do any good. My father didn't care about me at all, after all. When I looked to the side and felt quiet, my stomach growled. At that sound, the four of them smiled. And then Azusa told me that, to eat with us because she'd made food already, and so took me to the living room. On the living room table was hamburg steak, salad, and warm soup. Since I'd only ever eaten food, leftovers just before they expired, it was like a feast from the heavens. This was like a feast from the heavens. I hesitated, wondering if it was really okay for me to eat this sort of meal I'd only ever seen before on TV. But Azusa just brought the hamburg steak to my mouth. At her urging, I took a bite. It was good. It was so good. The four of them watching me with warm eyes. Oh, so this is family. Family really is something this gentle. I couldn't stop myself from crying. They let me fill my stomach with delicious food. Wash myself in the bath. And tended to my wounds again. When I asked Azusa why she was doing this for me, she confessed to me that she'd also been abused by her parents. When she was a child, even though she was abused by her parents as a child, my father, despite knowing about the abuse, pretended not to see anything. So when she saw me, she saw her younger self in me, and just couldn't ignore me. Kaede and Momiji also heard the same story. It seemed Kaede had caught on to my circumstances. and kept his mouth quiet. Momiji didn't really follow along and said, "Miyagi looks so much like Mom. It's like he's Mom's son too. Oh, that'd make the three of us triplets," with a smile. Masaki rustled my hair and asked me if I wanted him to talk to the police for me. I desperately shook my head. As a child as young as me, I hated my father. No matter how much my mother abused me, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. Mom was very lonely because father never returned home. That's why she turned herself on me. It was my father's fault why I was going through all that pain, so my mom did nothing wrong. If I talked to the police, I'd be separated from Mom. I didn't want that. Though deep down, I knew that Mom didn't really love me. But she was all I had. When I told them all that, Azusa and Masaki gave, sorry, when I told them all that, Masaki and Azusa frowned. They told me over and over again that at this rate I would die someday if things didn't change. I kept telling them I didn't want to be separated from my mom and to bring back home right away. And then Azusa sighed. It seemed she'd given up. Hold on a second. She only just met me today, so she could have just abandoned me. And I thought that, Azusa told me, start coming to their house every weekend, that she'd pick me up. My mother was mostly out on the weekends, so I was often alone in my house, which is why Azusa made that suggestion. And for every weekend after that, I would spend time at the Utsugi Manor. At first, I was nervous being in stranger's house, and mentally couldn't rest. When I played with Kaede and Momiji, I became happy and eventually started to feel like the Utsugi. Everyone at the Utsugi family was my real family. My mom still abused me every day as always. When I thought about how I'd get to see Kaede and Momiji play with Kaede and Momiji again at the end of the weekend, I could endure the pain no matter how horrible it was. Hold on a second. So as those days continued, one day, my parents, suspicious of how, my wounds were getting treated every weekend, how I was going away during these days, asked me where I was going. I kept quiet, not wanting to be inconvenienced on the Utsugis. That made them mad, and they abused me more than they ever had before. Oops. After he kicked me hard in the stomach and I threw up, my father called me filthy and stomped on my head. He was far stronger than Mom. I seriously thought I was going to die. It was then that Azusa came to pick me up. After that, my father started frequenting the Utsugi family, asking for money. I felt guilty for my father inconveniencing everyone in the Utsugi family, and so I gradually stopped going to their house. Azusa would come to pick me up every week, but I stubbornly refused, not wanting to inconvenience her any further. Hold on a second. It didn't seem like Masaki or Azusa ever played along with my father's requests, but one day, my father heard that Masaki had discovered a new kind of plant and started taking a friend with him to Utsugi Manor. I met that friend of his once when he came over to the house. One second. The man who was my father's friend was a very kindly and cheerful man. It made me doubt if they truly were friends. Then a little while after the two of them started frequenting the Utsugi Manor, the Utsugi Manor forced family suicide occurred. Kaede, the sole survivor, was adopted by my family. Having lost his parents and his twin brother all at once, he continued crying with a vacant look in his eyes. All I could do was hold his hand. Just like what Kaede did for me when we first met, I would just sit by his side and hold his hand. As for me, my mom continued abusing me. The silver lining that I took relief in was that neither of my parents laid a hand on Kaede. The reason they adopted Kaede was because they were after the inheritance of the Utsugi family. If they injured Kaede and he was sent to another house, both Kaede and the money would get away from them, so my parents never laid a hand on him. After a little while, Kaede slowly began to regain his smile when he spent time with me. Eventually, Kaede started to protect me from Mom. When we were together, she stopped abusing me and I started getting much less wounds. I started having much less visible wounds on me. However, mentally, I was still a coward. And through middle school, I would always hide behind Kaede's back. I depended on Kaede. Perhaps because I was abused for so long, I couldn't smile at anyone but Kaede. I had the look of a thug ever since I was born, anyway. And due to my lack of a smile, and my cowardly nature timid nature keeping me from speaking to anyone, it was only inevitable the others put distance between me and them. But Kaede always stood by my side. He would smile at me, rustle my hair gently, and embrace me. With Kaede's good looks and his friendly personality, and his skill in just about every field, people were naturally drawn to him. When they all invited Kaede to play with them, the kind Kaede would always say, to ask to bring Kiragi along too. But everyone would say they were scared of me. Bring Kiragi, I think, too. Hold on a second. When I consider that, others might hate Kaede too because he was always with me, I tried to publicly put some distance between myself and Kaede, but he didn't care. He kept staying with me. I could have just accepted their invitation to play with all of them. When I told him that, Kaede would always say it would be pointless without me around, and hold my hand with a smile. The skilled and, 1 second. I never being able to do anything right, being introverted, and being curt with a, cheeky face, was often compared to the skilled and handsome Kaede. Even so, I didn't care about any of that. But quite the opposite. I felt proud that Kaede called himself my twin brother. Because Kaede was always by my side and always treasured me. Whenever he treated the wounds that I got from my mother's abuse, he would ask me if it hurt. And I would always tell him that I was fine because he was with me. Maybe he was trying to do for me what he failed to do for his own deceased brother Momiji. Kaede and I weren't actually twins, but the two of us were like twins, 2 as 1. Then, when I went to middle school, my mother's abuse had completely ceased, and I had no more wounds on my body. Seeing my mom had found her own lover, and often didn't come back home. But since she stopped abusing me and I always had Kaede with me, I wasn't lonely. It was in June when I was in 7th grade. On my way home, I saw a girl standing still in the rain, holding an abandoned cat. That girl had taken the abandoned cat, but since her family wouldn't allow her to keep it, she was crying, not knowing what to do. I fell in love with her at first sight. When I pet the cat lying in the feebly crying girl's arms, the cat nuzzled up to me and purred. I was very touched that the cat grew attached to a scum like me, and so I decided to raise the cat. And so I took the cat from the girl and went and took it back home. Kaede was surprised about my son taking adoption of the cat. I was in high spirits for falling in love with someone for the first time, and so filled with joy, I told him all about the girl and the cat. As I told him that happily, Kaede looked surprised at first, but gradually a gloomier look formed on his face. At the time, I couldn't understand why he was making that kind of face. For some reason, Kaede didn't like it and was opposed to adopting the cat, leading to our first little argument. The next day, I had the day off from school because it was a Saturday, so I decided to go out to buy some food and a collar for the cat. So headed for the so opened the door to the living room to check on the cat. The cat was lying dead in the middle of the living room, covered in blood. To understand what had happened, I picked up the cat's body and wept. When I cried, Kaede walked in front of me. Kaide's hand was dry with blood. Kaede, did you do this? Yeah, I did. Shivers ran down my spine when Kaede answered with his usual smile. Why? As I answered with still crying, Kaede gently rubbed my cheek. Because if you're always with it, you might have come to love the cat more than me. I had no idea what he was saying.
僕にはヒイラギしかいないんだ。ヒイラギだけなんだよ。ヒイラギを失ったら今度こそ僕は生きていけない。僕はヒイラギだけしかいらない。他の何もいらない。ヒイラギはそうじゃないの？
Hey, I only have you here, Augie. Only you. If I lost you, then I really wouldn't be able to keep on living. I don't need anyone but you. I don't need anything else. Isn't it the same for you? I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't know what I should say.
ヒイラギは僕の弟だ。僕だけの弟だ。他の誰にも渡さない。だからね。邪魔するやつは殺すことにしたんだ。
You're my brother. My brother, you're my brother, no one else is. I won't let anyone have you. That's why I decided to kill the one who was in the way. I depended on Kaede. But more than that, Kaede depended on me.
ヒイラギはその猫をくれた女の子のことが好きなんだよ。ねえ、どこの誰なの？そいつ。
Hiraki, you're in love with the girl who gave you that cat, right? Hey, tell me, just who is she? Kaede wouldn't allow me to fall in love with anyone but him. At this rate, he might very well ended up killing the girl I met yesterday. Seeing as he was now, it was very plausible.
違う。違う。あんなやつ好きなんかじゃない。
No, no, I don't love anyone like that.
そうなの？でも昨日あんなに嬉しそうに話してたじゃないか。
Really? Well, you sound so happy when you were talking yesterday.
違う。俺が好きなのは楓だけだ。楓以外何もいらない。だから。
You're wrong. You're the only one I love, Kaede. I don't need anything but you. So I clung to Kaede. A scene that put him back in a good mood as he returned to his usual smile. Kaede put a hand on my cheek and kissed me. My thoughts ground to a halt at the sudden event.
ヒイラギはずっと虐待されていたから愛情に飢えているんだよ。だから他人にそれを求めてしまった。だけど安心してヒイラギが寂しい思いをすることがないように、これからは僕が今まで以上にもっと愛してあげる。
You're starved for love because you're always abused. That's why you sought that love from others. But don't worry, Hiragi. Just make sure you never feel lonely. I'll love you even more than I already have up to this point from now on.
だからヒイラギは僕だけを見ていればいいんだ。僕だけを求めていればいいんだよ。
So all you have to do is look at me and me alone. All you have to do is seek me and me alone. He said that and kissed me again. Kaede gently stroked my hair with his blood-stained hand. I shivered in fear. Why? Just how did Kaede turn out like this? No. Perhaps Kaede started to go mad ever since the incident happened. When he was lonely from the loss of his family, I depend on Kaede. Kaede supported me when I should have been the one supporting him. I'm sure that because of that, Kaede, who lost his whole family, felt they couldn't afford to lose me, his new brother, this time. Up until now, the two of us were always as one. So when my eyes suddenly turned to someone other than Kaede, he probably got confused. Kaede was much more social than me and had a lot of friends. But I was the only one he opened his heart to. The same went for me. That's why he couldn't forgive my betrayal. If I'd been more independent and supported him when he needed it, maybe Kaede wouldn't have turned out that way. It's all my fault that Kaede turned out that way. Hiragi, you're shivering. Don't worry, there's nothing to be scared of, because I'll protect you. No. I wasn't weak like I used to be. I didn't need you to protect me. But I couldn't push Kaede away because I didn't want him to hate me. And then I learned of a truth that Kaede himself was unaware of. Because of that, I always felt guilty. If Kaede ever learned of that truth, I was sure he'd come to hate me. I was sure he'd want to kill me. No. I didn't want that, if nothing else. In that case, I'd always keep my silence. I'd always stay by his side. I love you, Hiragi. What about you? Do you love me? I love you too. After that, I deliberately took on, I deliberately started acting in ways that would make people dislike me. I deliberately interacted with others as little as possible, and if I did talk, deliberately said things to make them hate me. Kaede was always watching me, no matter what time. Even if I just talked a little bit to someone else in the class, Kaede would get really mad. Extremely mad. With a smile, he said that he'd have to get rid of those pigs who were approaching me. That was why I couldn't afford to fall in love with anyone. Because if I did that, they would die because of me. I lived with my loneliness for a long time. Even so, I had Kaede. Kaede, would fill in my loneliness. Wasn't that all I needed? And so I decided to be Kaede's and Kaede's alone until he died. Because that was the least I could do to atone. And yet... in May of 10th grade, after enrolling in high school, my father was killed in a hit and run. Before long, Kaede and I moved to an apartment not too far away from Mom's house. Even the new high school I transferred into, I lived without getting involved with anyone. Then one day, on my way home from school, I happened to have had something else to do that day, so for the first time in a while, I went back home alone, and then I found an abandoned cat on the side of the road. The cat weakly purred in the midst of the downpour. I remember the abandoned cat from that day. The cat who was killed because of me. I hastily looked around. Kaede wasn't here. It was okay. With that thought, I gave the cat my umbrella. Put the umbrella above the cat. Because that was all I could do for it. Praying that someone kind would adopt and take care of the cat, I left the place. I never thought that I would have been seen by Anzu Krisuno, Sakura Krisuno's younger sister. You're a nice person, aren't you, Hiragi? Anzu said that and smiled. Though I always, despite my vulgar words and bad attitude, she always talked to me with a smile. Stop. Don't be so nice to me. I know the truth. You're just misunderstood by everyone, and deep down, you're a nice guy. Eventually, I fell in love with Anzu. But I couldn't let that show. I couldn't let Kaede find out. So that I didn't endanger Anzu. That was what I believed. But in the end, I led Anzu to her death. I'm sorry. It's my fault that Anzu was... I cry as I apologize to Sakura. I know she won't forgive me. But I continue to apologize to her. Hiragi's nowhere to be found. I got a bad feeling, went to check up on Sakura, but the room was completely empty. Sakura and Hiragi ran away together. I feel like I'm gonna go insane from jealousy. She's with that girl of all people? I won't allow it. She took everything from me, and now she's trying to take Hiragi too. I'll kill her. I'll smash her to pieces until there's nothing left to be recognized as human from her. Yes, that's right. There's that knife I left in the living room. I forgot I left the knife in the living room. I head back into the living room. When I get into the living room, the stench of blood fills my nose. I scrunch my face as I pick up the knife lying next to Anzu Krisuno's body. Anzu Krisuno staring at me with vacant eyes. Even after she's dead, I hate this girl. I remember what happened last night. Last night, when Hiragi thought I was asleep, he left the room on his own. He was clutching the knife in his hand. Wondering where he was going, I secretly followed him and found that he went to the living room door. After talking for a while, Hiragi went to the living room and took out the knife he was hiding. Oh, Hiragi. So you're going to kill Anzu Krisuno, huh? That's right. She's always following Hiragi and giving him those naughty, dirty looks. So she must be fed up with her too. Could have just told... He didn't have to get his own hands dirty, though. I would have killed her if she had just told me. With that thought, when I thought that, Hiragi said something I never imagined he'd say.
全部俺のせいなんだよ。だからお前の手で俺を殺してくれ。
It's all my fault. So please, kill me with your own hands. And with those words, Hiragi handed Anzu the knife. Anzu Krisuno dropped the knife to the floor.
私が柊先輩を殺せるはずがないでしょ。たとえどんな理由があっても、たとえ私が感染した原因が柊先輩にあったとしても、柊先輩のことを殺すなんてできません。
I could never kill you, Hiragi. Because no matter the reason, even if you're the reason why I got infected, I could never kill you.
お前のことが好きだから。だからお前の手で殺してほしい。それが無理なら。
I love you. That's why I want you to kill me with your own hands. And if you can't do that, then... Hiragi picked up the knife and pointed at his own throat.
やめてください。
Please stop! Anzu Krisuno embraced Hiragi. Knocked back by the force, Hiragi dropped the knife.
お願いします。やめてください。私だって柊先輩のことが好きです。だからこそ、そんなことはできません。
Please don't do it. I love you too, Hiragi. That's why I can't do this.
もし全てが柊先輩のせいだというのなら、生きて償ってください。
If it really is all your fault, then live on and atone for it, please.
アンズ、
柊先輩、
Two of them embraced and looked at each other, and then they kissed.
柊先輩、教えてください。柊先輩の知っていること、全部。
Hiragi, please, tell me everything you know. I will. I staggered away from the living room door. Hiragi. My dear, dear Hiragi. He's been corrupted by that girl. My head was spinning. I couldn't get the image of their kiss out of my mind. Hiragi. Just when did you turn to a boy like that? No, it must be that girl's fault. That girl seduced Hiragi. And I have to kill her as soon as possible. I staggered over to the kitchen, took a knife, and walked through the hallway. Just then, I heard a loud sound coming from the staircase. After a little while, someone descended the staircase and headed for the front door. It was Tsubaki Ibu. She was the one who'd taken blood from Nishizaki and infected Anzu Krisuno. Last night, I followed her and figured out what she was up to. I figured something interesting would happen. She killed Nishizaki and took her blood, so I let it happen, but if she did something again, it'd be a real pain. I was planning on killing everyone other than Hiragi anyway. So if I let her outside, I have to go and kill her anyway. And so it was that thought that I killed Tsubaki Ibu just as she was about to leave. After finishing off Tsubaki Ibu, I tried to go back to the living room, and I noticed something else lying at the bottom of the staircase. It was Sakura Krisuno. I hastily checked her breathing. I was relieved when I saw she was only unconscious. It would have been a big problem for me if she died so simply. I decided to give her the most, I decided to kill her at the end, giving her the most painful death of them all. Anyway, I had to take care of her sister. I'll take care of that woman who seduced Hiragi. I gripped a knife and went back into the living room. Head back for the living room. Two of them turned around surprised when I opened the door of the living room.
Yeah, Hiragi, Anzu-chan.
Hi there, Hiragi, Anzu. Hold on a second. When Hiragi saw the knife in my hand, he stepped in front of Anzu as if to protect her.
Hiragi, ごめんよ。今は君じゃなくて、Anzu-chanに用があるんだ。そこをどいてくれないかな。
I'm sorry, Hiragi. Right now I have business with her, with Anzu, not you. Could you move out of the way? Hiragi looked anxious for a second, but quickly glared back at me.
やだ。
No. Hiragi. He's rejecting me? Anzu Krisuno. The girl really is brainwashing Hiragi.
Hiragi.
Hiragi shivered when I said that in a cold voice. His face went pale, and he tried to look away from me.
Hiragi. 僕が怖い。かわい そうにそんなに怯えて。大丈夫だよ柊。そこをどいてくれればいいだけなんだ。そうしたら僕は君を怒ったりなんかしないから。
Hiragi? Are you scared of me? You poor thing, you're so scared. It's alright, Hiragi. All you have to do is get out of the way. And then I won't be mad at you anymore. I tried to convince Hiragi as gently as possible. Hiragi was a smart boy, so I'm sure he would understand, right?
嫌だ。俺はここをどかない。楓がアンズに何かするつもりなら俺はアンズを守る。
No, I won't move. If you're planning on doing something to Anzu, I'll protect her. Something snapped in my head. My dear Hiragi always relied on me and hid behind my back. Was now getting in my way, standing in front of me.
柊、どうしてそんなことを言うんだい。いつの間にそんな悪い子になっちゃったんだい。少しお仕置きが必要なのかな。
Hiragi, why would you say something like that? When did you become such a bad boy? Do I need to punish you a little? I turned to Hiragi and took a step forward. At that moment, Anzu Krishno cut in between me and Hiragi.
楓先輩、もうやめてください。柊先輩のこと、これ以上苦しめないでください。
Kaede, please stop this. Don't make Hiragi suffer anymore, please.
うるさい。
Shut up. I kicked Anzu Krishno with all my might. Anzu Krishno's back slammed against the living room wall, and she writhed.
アンズ。
Oops, sorry, I missed that. With Hiragi distracted by Anzu Krishno, I tripped him up. Having lost his balance, Kaede fell to the ground. Hiragi was a bit taller than me, but it wasn't hard at all to restrain him.
嫌だ。離せ。
No, get away. Kaede grabbed my clothes and resisted. Even though he never resisted me before. I wrangled Hiragi's neck and slowly filled my hands with strength.
苦しい。柊はあの女に洗脳されてるんだよ。だからそんな悪い子になっちゃってるんだよ。でも安心して、僕がその洗脳を解いてあげるから。
Does it hurt, Hiragi? You're being brainwashed by that girl. That's why you're becoming such a bad boy. But rest easy. I'll free you from the brainwashing. I filled my hands with more strength, and tears poured out of Hiragi's eyes, probably from the pain. Please stop. Anzu Krishno called out from behind us. It seems she couldn't get up, because of the kick I'd given her in the abdomen. But she was struggling her way over towards me. Shut up. Sure was annoying. And then the moment I took my eyes, turned my eyes to onto Krishna for a moment. A shock ran through my right cheek. I loosened my grip on Hiragi's neck. Free from the pain, Hiragi coughed. I haven't been brainwashed. Hiragi hit me? I can't believe it. Hiragi's always stayed with me. How could he lay a hand on me? Looks like words alone aren't going to convince him, huh? Hiragi, here's a punishment for disobedient boys like you. I grabbed Hiragi's leg and stabbed him with all my might. Hiragi flailed about from the pain, but I forced him down.
Hiragi, 痛いよね。ヒイラギの痛がってる顔、すごくいい。かわいいよ、ヒイラギ。
Oh, Hiragi, does it hurt? Does it? It hurts, doesn't it? That look of fear on your face is so good. You're cute. You're so cute, Hiragi. I twisted the knife around without pulling it out of Hiragi. What a wonderful voice, Hiragi. More. Let me hear more. I stabbed the knife even further into Hiragi's wounds. Hiragi's screams are like music to my ears. He looks so adorable, crying and writhing in pain like that. I want to see that look on his face forever, but the moment I think that, something tugs on my leg. I turn around and see Anzu Krishna clinging to my leg. Please stop this. Why? How could you do something so horrible to the one you love? Shut up, you sow. This is all your fault to begin with. I stand up and kick Anzu Krishna again. Anzu Krishna slams into the wall. Pick her up by the lapels. If only you weren't here. It's all your fault. Please, just let Hiragi go. Shut up. Just die. I raised the knife. Kaede, stop! Sit. Anzu Kurisano dies, stained with blood.
Anzu!
No! Anzu! Anzu! Hiragi desperately reached his hand out to Anzu Kurisano, crying and dragging his wounded leg around. I dragged Hiragi away, picked him up, and brought him to the hall. Hiragi just cried the whole way. He no longer had the will to resist. Thank goodness. He's been released from that girl's brainwashing. So happy that Hiragi had returned to his normal self, I kissed him. Good boy. I'll treat that wound right up. After I tended to Hiragi's leg, I tied him up and gagged him so he couldn't make a sound. From start to finish, Hiragi just silently cried. But it would be a problem if in the chance he did end up going on a rampage. I methodically removed Hiragi's uniform buttons one by one and played with his skin. I had disinfected him from where that girl touched him. When I ran my tongue on his neck, Hiragi twitched. But all he did was just stare up at the ceiling, vacantly, tears running down his cheeks. I took my time licking, Hiragi's body. My Hiragi. My cute, cute Hiragi. Mine alone. After I was done disinfecting Hiragi, I put his clothes back on. You just wait here until I kill Sakura. I gently stroked the silent Hiragi's head and left the room. After that, I took the collapsed Sakura up to my room and waited until she woke up. That's right. All that was left was just to kill Sakura, but I never thought Hiragi would run away with her. I grabbed the bloodstained knife and leave the living room. Since the mansion's empty, only that place is the only other possibility. A place full of memories of my family. I head to the greenhouse without a moment's hesitation. I have to kill Sakura and fast, because I don't have much time left. Okay, I'd say that's a good stopping point for now. Technically, I could go for like 5 more minutes, but after all I think it's a good stopping point. So, yeah, I got a lot of flashbacks there, got a lot of revelations. Now is to see what will happen with the three remaining survivors once they meet up. We'll see that next time. So until then, I'll see you later.